Um,
So what do you have for breakfast?
I'm eating Dunkin' cereal, the caramel macchiato version.
Caramel macchiato?
Caramel macchiato Dunkin' cereal. I'm eating and drinking coffee.
Oh, I had no idea that those existed.
Mm.
Dunkin' cereal. I knew they had Dunkin' coffee. And there's also a Dunkin' beer, I think.
There is, yes.
That I saw, yeah.
It's from Harpoon. I forget what that.
Yeah, it is Harpoon. You're right.
I've not tried it yet. It looks interesting because it's Dunkin' beer. How would it not look interesting? But yes.
Well, I mean, would you actually dunk a donut in the beer?
After you've had enough of it, I think you probably would. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's going to have to come up. I mean, depending on who you're around, I don't know how it couldn't.
Oh, here. Speaking of coming up, I'm gonna raise a dog. Here.
Oh yeah.
Get over here. Oh yeah. I was supposed to
I have
move
a
the
cat,
laundry.
but he's over there.
I was supposed to move the laundry out of the camera site. There we go.
Yeah,
that's
mine's
close
over here. I got the.
All right. I'm just kidding. No, so here's my breakfast. I have 3 fried eggs, or they're supposed to kind of be over easy, but they're pretty fried. And bacon. And pre-toast.
Pre-toast.
Mm-hmm. I also have 2 vitamin C gummies for my immune system. That's what happens when you get old. Sean Connery didn't take his this morning, and look what happened.
It's time for the Seamonkey on the Street comedy music interview series. And now, here's your host, Seamonkey.
All right. Well, here. Even with the awkward shadows on my face, illuminating the dark circles and the very impressive frown lines, this is Seamonkey, and we are here with ShoEboX of Worm Quartet for the Seamonkey Comedy Music Interview Series.
Excellent.
What is this? Number 7, 8, 9, 10? Something like that.
Definitely.
So thank you for joining me this morning, ShoEboX. We are having breakfast, and I don't think this is going to work because, I mean, this is crunchy, right? And it's just going to take over if I...
Well, this is too. I eat my cereal dry, so it's also going to be crunchy.
Oh, zero milk? Not that crunchy. Not that impressive. I'm disappointed in Dunkin'.
I don't know if it's that it's not crunchy or just I have a really impressive mouth seal.
That could be it too. I thought it was the macchiato part of the cereal that dampens the crunch, maybe. But it's also it's Halloween morning too, so
That's true.
now this is Halloween 2020, so things are a little bit different.
Yes.
A lot of bit different. So now, Halloween wise, are you one of those Halloween people that decorate their lawns up with dead bodies and skeletons stripping and all that kind of stuff, or are you pretty mild?
Kim is very, very much into Halloween. So what usually happens is we have grand plans to do things and end up doing, some small part of whatever that was. So we do typically have decorations of various sorts, but it's nothing super impressive. We always do the trick-or-treating thing, and we're not doing that this year because we have a person in our house who is in the high-risk category. So alas, we cannot. So it's going to be the first time we turn our lights off for Halloween, which is sad. And
oh, okay. So you're bowing out the whole way, huh?
We're bowing out the whole way. We got a couple of tombstones outside, but yeah, lights are going off. We're unfortunately out of it.
I gotcha.
Which sucks.
I was thinking about getting on the roof and tossing candy down.
We had the exact same discussion, strangely.
Did you? Oh, well. I also, and some...
I felt like the Green Goblin and just have like something about candy. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, you got to light each piece of candy on fire as you throw it at the kids. I also had the thought of hard candy like Jolly Ranchers or Jawbreakers or something, and a slingshot.
Oh, look at that.
And also I shared a thought with like some 8-year-old kid or something somewhere about getting a PVC pipe and just kind of shooting it down the pipe, like getting 20-foot pipe or something and shooting it down there. Actually, my wife got a downspout drain thing that you can move around, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. There's a few people doing that kind of thing, yeah.
But it's got all the ridges, so your candy would go like and just stick, so it would not go. So that's going to be useless. But okay, now we're having so Halloween is dark at the box house. Do you prefer being called Tim or ShoEboX? What do you prefer?
In the context of Worm Quartet, I typically get called ShoEboX, which I'm totally fine with. Helps keep separation between various worlds. ShoEbox is fine. If you call me Tim, I don't care either. Some people can't deal with calling me ShoEbox. I suspect you are not one of those people.
Nah. I mean, I'll call you whatever you want. So like, you don't go to the doctor and they say, "Well, Timothy, hop on up here and you go, it's ShoEbox, dude."
In fact, you're not. No,
you don't do that. Okay.
I'm a manager at my day job. It'd be kind of weird to get people to call me ShoEbox. It doesn't.
Well, maybe not at your day job. Just when you go to the doctor, right?
Okay. Yeah.
We all have to get our prostates checked.
Not right now.
Not at the moment. That's our next interview.
I was going to say,
we'll get our prostates checked together. That would be the interview to end all interviews. You imagine the questions on that. So what do you think of the comedy? It's a classic. No, so we are eating breakfast. What is your ideal breakfast? Is it caramel macchiato?
It is Dunkin'? Not. Well, that's what I'm having today. I don't know if we discussed this when you started the interview, but yes, this was the Dunkin' caramel macchiato. So
it will be made abundantly clear.
Excellent. I believe you. So that is happening. That's not my ideal. My ideal is probably pecan pancakes or pecan waffles. I like to put nuts in my face for breakfast.
Now that makes sense.
The best of me. You know that?
Put the nuts in your mouth, ShoEboX.
Mm-hmm.
Now you say pecan and not pecan.
I do.
Is that normal for the North? I don't know what's normal for the South, so I'm asking if that's normal for the North.
I don't really pay attention. I've lived in. I've lived up here and I've lived in West Virginia. I've just it all kind of for pecan and pecan. I've heard both here. I don't even remember in the South. I've heard both, but I guess pecan would be more of a Southern thing. I guess I don't even know.
See, I think I can hear in my head Southern yokels saying pecan.
That would make sense.
Some pecan pie. Doesn't that sound? Yeah. So are you truly a Southerner at heart? Is that what we're finding out?
No, I don't think we are finding that out.
Okay. I had to clarify. So you woke up this way, huh?
I did.
Is this what you?
This is kind of amazing. I've got this little curl going here.
Yeah,
you must sleep on the opposite side of me because you've got squished down on the other side there.
Who? On me?
You.
Oh yeah, mine's still. I still have the COVID mohawk.
Right.
So it just kind of. Now when I woke up, it was more like this. So I just don't. I didn't know if you'd want to stare at me the whole time.
More than you know.
Yeah, so, are the dots on the Pac-Man maze board? After he eats all the dots, are the next set of dots on each successive board? Is that Pac-Man's poop?
My guess would be no, because he eats it, and I would think that. I mean, I'm not necessarily saying because that Pac-Man is above eating his own poop, because I don't know. I would think so, but I don't know. But I can say from a nutritive perspective that wouldn't work, considering we've been around for 40 years. I would think eating his own poop wouldn't be enough to sustain anybody for 40 years. So I'm thinking no.
Because see, I was thinking that would explain the power pills and the ghosts' faces when he eats one of those big giant poops.
Big giant poops.
So that's why I figured I'd ask the Pac-Man guy for that one, because I've always wanted to know. So on that subject of Pac-Man, explain your Pac-Man EP.
Explain my Pac-Man EP. Okay. It's a bunch of songs about Pac-Man. Well, basically, yeah, I did a interview with
Now, make it interesting. Explain your Pac-Man EP and make it interesting.
the. I got interviewed for the Smithsonian magazine. So a lady contacted me about the 40th anniversary of Pac-Man, and because of the totally obsessed thing and all that crap, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did that interview, which was cool. That was fun. And in the process of that, I realized I hadn't done anything for Pac-Man's 40th anniversary, and that was stupid. So I did a new version of Pac-Man is Naked and So Should You, called Pac-Man is 40 and So Should You, which is available. And then decided to do more with it. It seemed like something I could do more with. So I decided to do a bunch of covers and stuff like that, and do a little 7-inch EP thing. I initially planned to just have a couple, just do like that song, maybe one or two other songs, a couple of remixes, and did a Kickstarter for that. And first Kickstarter goal was to make it a 12-inch instead and add some more songs. We had a couple other things I'd considered doing, and we hit that, so I got to do more things. Basically, it was kind of a fun way to keep myself entertained during this whole COVID thing. I'd been in the process of working on a new album, which is very close to done, but I kind of broke off from that to do this. I hadn't been working strongly on that of late, so this kind of was a good way to get my creative juices a-flowing in some way. Kind of forced me to do some crap, and it was more fun than I expected it was going to be. It was cool. So,
What was it like for a lady from the Smithsonian to contact you? Like, how did that go down?
I just got an email from her.
It was an email, like they didn't call and you were like, yeah, whatever, lady.
No, I was through I was actually through I think it was through my Bandcamp page or something. Just contacted me through and say, hey, you're this guy. We were doing a thing on this. You want to talk to me about this and this? And yeah, I mean, it was a cool article. Went from the whole inception of Pac-Man to some of the to my obsession with Pac-Man. Hey, and that didn't work.
It sounds like a lyric to me. So just go ahead and write it.
Obsession. No.
Yeah. Hey, write it down real quick before you forget.
Terrible rhyme. Terrible. And yeah, no, it was. Yeah, as far as how did that go down? I'd say that's just. I've had weird things happen like that, and I enjoy them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's. Hi, I was on I was on TV screen about Pac-Man a million years ago, and now every now and then my 15 minutes of fame go into syndication, and I get recontacted by people about this stuff. It's
Yeah. So yeah, were you surprised that you're still on the radar for that?
Yeah, a few years ago, it got picked up by H3 Productions, the Ethan and Hilla Klein. Who have millions upon millions of viewers on YouTube. They did a thing on it where they, the typical YouTube thing of you watch a thing and respond to it. There's a ton of those by Pac-Man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, really?
Most of them are just people watching it and just go, they watch me say a thing, then they say the same thing. Oh, dude, look at the guy, he's doing the thing, and then they go back to me doing stuff. Oh, dude, look at the guy, he's doing the thing, and that's really all there is to it. Honestly, I don't necessarily understand this form of entertainment. I mean, if it's done well, it's good, but because there's a few people that do it really well. They point out
like those
things that you wouldn't think about. But
yeah, like the two guys that listened to Led Zeppelin for the first time or whatever, and they were like on the Grammys or something, weren't they? Or American Music Awards or something, and they had them like in between the acts when they go to commercial, and it was those guys that comment on music like. It's two black guys and they're listening to stuff like Led Zeppelin or Fleetwood Mac or whatever. And they'll be like, oh, okay. He's like, all right, okay. And they always seem to find something positive in it. So yeah. That's what I enjoy about those guys.
That's cool.
And so are you happy that this Pac-Man EP is going to be your first Worm Quartet vinyl offering, or was there something else that you wish that could have been the vinyl offering for Worm Quartet first?
Well, the original thing that was going to happen, I was supposed to put out a 7-inch a million years ago. It was going to be a split with a band called Plan 15. They're a punk band out of, I was going to say out of Virginia because I think that's where they were. I don't know if that's still where they are or not. But they...
you can just say just out of vagina, and that applies for everybody.
It truly does, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's like a universal experience.
Well, unless you're, I guess, C-section, right?
No,
You're
that's
not out of vagina. You're out of. Okay. Anyway,
adjacent to parallel. And it's like a perpendicular. Yeah. I don't know. I need more coffee. So there was supposed to be a 7. It was supposed to be a 7-inch split with Plan 15. So I did a couple songs specifically for that, as well as a cover of a Plan 15 song. The 7-inch, the label that was putting it out, which I don't remember the name of, they changed their minds and
Oh yeah.
they decided to not spend money on anything ever again. I guess I don't know. So that didn't happen. So I took the songs that were going to be on that and I put them as bonus tracks on the Sumophobia re-release. So I have a song called "I'm on Vinyl Now, So I'm More Punk Than You," and it's not available on vinyl, which is annoying.
Right.
So that was supposed to be my first one. But as far as do I wish something was first? Only from a timeline perspective, because this is on like colored vinyl, which is like two-thirds yellow and 1/3 black, so it looks like Pac-Man. You can't do much better than that. I'm very excited about that. I think this is going to be a cool thing.
I agree. I'm super excited about it. I know you know I'm super excited about it because I've contacted you multiple times about it. Being super excited. So I was out there pushing for what was it? Stupid video game music that you were going to do it for the stretch goal.
Yeah.
Now, did you take those stretch goal monies that almost got you there and pocket them, or did you put them away for a coming vinyl pressing of Stupid Video Game Music?
I will be honest, I do not know how much money is left yet. This is the first time I've worked with a label, really. Needle Juice Records is doing this. Jason McClain, Nuclear Bubble Wrap, and Odd Austin, and there's another guy involved whose name I always forget because I'm an asshole. He lives in Rochester, so he's here. He's come to he came to one of my shows a while back. I've met him, and I cannot remember his name. It's like most of Needle Juice is in Tennessee. The one guy who's local is the guy whose name I can't remember, and it's
he'll be knocking on your door shortly.
So, I love you, third guy, but they're doing this, which means a lot of this is out of my hands. I've been doing this full-on DIY since day one, so this is weird. Yeah. Right now, I'm like writing to Jace constantly saying, "Hey, where are things? What's going on?" I ordered the T-shirts and the buttons, and I'm waiting for them to happen. Other than that, I've done everything I need to do is out of my hands. I said everything to Jace, and I'm just twiddling my thumbs and waiting to see what happens. I don't know exactly how much everything's going to be, and we'll see what happens with the money that's left.
Okay.
So I trusted him as far as the stretch goal numbers and all that. So, he wants to put out everything eventually.
I agree.
On vinyl that I've ever done, and that's we're talking about it, and I'm thinking about it. I've worked on potentially redesigning some of the art and all that stuff. So we'll see. We'll see if that happens or not.
And so, how long is the typical Worm Quartet album?
I usually shoot for 35 minutes or so, just because. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Keep going.
I didn't mean to interrupt. 35 minutes.
Yeah, my goal is I not that it's my favorite album, but it's one of my favorites. Descendants, Everything Sucks. I view as like kind of a something to shoot for as far as album length / style. I mean, it gets in, it kicks your ass for 35 minutes, it gets out, which is just perfect. You don't get sick of it. You don't feel ripped off by it. It just you get it done before you're tired of it, and that's that's what I'm shooting for. I think beyond that, you have to be really good to survive, to keep somebody's attention for much longer than that. So I usually shoot for 35 minutes. Usually end up being more around 40, 45, but that's what I'm shooting for. So it works well for vinyl.
Okay, so yeah, it does work well for vinyl, which was my point, because then I was thinking you could maybe do 2 albums at once, and you know, front cover on each side, and then have 2 albums in there. That's probably a really dumb idea, though. So,
probably.
Yeah, probably. But so you're saying you just don't want to bore people, so you're trying to get it over with and not bore people, right?
It's less that and more sort of a sort of. I mean, I like it to be something you can listen to in one sitting. So yeah, I don't want it to be okay. I've had enough of this. Done. And yeah. But a couple of reviews actually point out it ends before you get sick of it. So it's like, hey, I worked.
Well, then that's your ultimate review, right?
Right.
Okay, ShoEboX. If a cucumber taunted my comic book collection, which issue and what series would it be?
If a cucumber taunted your comic book collection,
Yes. Yeah. What? Yeah. What issue of what series would it be?
See, I didn't know this was going to have such intellectual questions. I've got to.
I told you.
This is a big one.
I told you, Mr. President, before the interview. I asked if you were ready for the tough questions.
Amazing Spider-Man Annual number 21.
And explain.
I believe the cucumber would be like, "Hey, you see this? Everything from here until one more day didn't actually happen." That's
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I believe it would be the Casada Gambit.
I knew you would come up with something. I knew it. I just recently cataloged all my comic books, and I don't even know what I have. So okay, Annual 21, was that right?
21. Yes.
Okay. All right. Now, you are a master of nonsensical word pairings of the things and verbs and nouns.
Thank you.
That still can somehow convey a pineapple to everyone. So how did you hone this skill, and like how young were you when you discovered, hey, I've got this skill to put all these words together in a nonsensical fashion and make them sound funny?
The ones you were specifically talking to are called chutney songs. And the reason behind that is when I first started doing Worm Quartet, or anything called Worm Quartet, it was in 1991. I had just moved from West Virginia to Massachusetts. And it was over the summer, so I didn't have any friends, and I was in a new place, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I'd been drawing these four worms as Worm Quartet as like comics things that I was passing around to a couple of friends in West Virginia. So I decided they should record an album because, again, nothing else to do. And there were four worms: Bob, Leon, Elroy, and Chutney. Chutney was insane due to something involving a jackhammer. I don't remember what. So this is something that happened in the stupid comic strip. And therefore, Chutney's songs were completely nonsensical. So it started with me attempting to record Chutney's songs, which were the easiest ones to do. Most of these songs were done by taking music that already existed and talking over it. So any parodies I did, because I did a shit ton of parodies back then, because I did, and they mostly consisted of me having the original music and me singing over it. Every now and then I throw some real keyboards in because I did know how to play, but I didn't have any recording equipment per se, just a stereo that I recorded things on. But the Chutney ones were easiest to do, and I just started doing them. As far as what goes through my brain, I don't know exactly. I know there's a specific way things need to be, and I know when it's not there. There's a way they need to fit together properly, and a way that it sounds right, and a way that things have to be a certain distance from each other and can't have anything in common. And basically, I know when it's right versus when it's not, and that's about as much as I put into it consciously.
Okay. So it's more of a stream of consciousness thing with subconscious rules that you've imposed.
I would say yes. It's not something. I mean, if you asked me to riff on it, if you put me in a rap battle with that, I could not come up with it quickly enough to do anything impressive. It takes a while to compose such a thing, but yeah.
Okay. Recently, you had posted on Facebook about one of your most popular songs, a real beloved song called "Frank's Not in the Band Anymore."
Yes. And
the subject matter was regarding some lyrics about a mistaken sex reassignment surgery, as a joke, and you kind of basically apologized, I guess. Is that would that be fair? Yeah. And said that Frank's the song gets it wrong. Yeah. And that was in regard to transgender people. And so my question, because see, I've had the same kind of, I guess, reactions by other people. I had that kind of trust me, it's on my mind every day about the Boobles. I bet. But with Lucy is a guy with falsies. When I put that one on the thump, then there was a comment that kind of accused me of being transphobic or something, which at the time my youngest daughter was going through her sort of identity crisis, maybe trying to, she thought she might be transgendered and things like that. So I kind of took offense to that. I was like, there's no way I'm transphobic at all. And the song is about just sorry, but it's about I guess a straight white male that goes and drinks too much at the bar and goes home with a cross-dresser that he doesn't realize, and that's the joke, right? So is there not these days, is there not a place for a comedy bit or song that just addresses the straight white guy's perspective, as long as you're not really demeaning anyone? Because I didn't think that Frank's demeans anybody. I never thought of it in that way at all. And
just drummers.
Huh? Yeah, just drummers.
I mean, come on, they're not people.
See, we could say that, but I mean, there's my question. So, is there no place for just a regular old straight white guy's perspective?
I think most comedy still is that, honestly. That straight white guys. As far as commenting outside of your area, yeah, it's just a matter of know what you're talking about. I guess you don't want to, if you're doing it from it's about what you're saying. If you're coming off as ignorant and you're doing it on purpose, I think that's one thing. If you're saying things that are incorrect and it's not part of the comedy and it's just wrong, or if it's deliberate mockery, punching down, that's a different matter. In the case of Frank, the fact that, this spoilers for anyone who hasn't heard it, the fact that there is a sexual reassignment surgery in it doesn't really have anything to do with the meaning of the song. When I wrote the song, this was a way to get from point A to point B, and it was a weird way because you don't see it coming. You don't realize this is where the song is going, and it was just kind of building this awkward, what is this sort of thing is what I was going for. But in the process of that, so he actually goes in for a gender reassignment surgery, and ends up with losing an arm. That's the joke. But the problem that I saw as potentially a thing, and it's been since confirmed to me that some people did, although nobody said anything to me, some people did wonder about this. They consider it somewhat problematic. I refer to Frank as he throughout the song, and if you're having a gender reassignment surgery to lose your man bits, it's more likely that you identify as female, so it should be she throughout it. And I realized that I had said previously on my page, without even thinking about this song, that this is calling somebody by the gender that they identify with is really the least you can do from a respect perspective. It's like, makes me feel like more of a human if you call me this way. You say it wrong, they correct you, you say, oh, my mistake, change it, life goes on. You've done, people make a big deal out of how, I don't even know what to call people. Just do it wrong once, you'll be corrected, move on.
Then go, yeah.
That's all that's required of you. It's just a respect thing. I mean, I pointed out in my comments here that I myself have been misgendered despite being, cis white male, because I used to, weigh 300 something pounds, which definitely, makes your facial features, smooths out all the creases quite a bit, and also gives you moves. So I wrote a song called "I'm Not a Girl" about that, which is also probably problematic in its own way. Well, I say probably, it definitely is.
And I still don't have a singer for my Booble song. I am the lard ass.
Yeah, sorry about that.
That's which I had originally given to you way back then.
Right.
And the only reason that I did was because you kind of played that persona.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
So I did not mean any disrespect to you, by the way.
No, none was taken. Like as you said, I built up that persona. Yeah, there's okay. Going back to thread 1, because otherwise I'm going to go down thread 2.
Yes, no shit.
So for the frank sake, like I said, I just wanted to throw that out there. Say yes, I'm aware that this happened. I'm aware that this is problematic. Is there something I should do about this? Because I've waved that banner already. I've said that I'm aware that this is how things are, and then looking at my own song, I realized that I got it wrong. So I don't necessarily think it makes sense to censor the thing that's out there. It's already out there.
Right.
And the general response I've gotten is that it seems to be that there's not a need for me to do that. That it's more sort of for stuff that's out there. I should probably, if I re-release it in any way, I should probably throw a disclaimer on there saying, yes, this was written in 2001. I'm not saying times have changed since then. I mean, this has been, as far as transgender people wanting to be recognized, that's an ongoing struggle and has been for a long time. But as far as my own ignorance of the situation, obviously in 2001, I didn't know anything about this. I really didn't understand it, and I've learned a lot since then. So I felt it was right to apologize, and I did, and so that's, I guess, kind of where that is. Society evolves, and in this case, it's a good thing. We're talking about more recognition and more mutual respect,
Right.
And comedy's got to evolve with it. But on the other hand, if you've been doing it for decades, God, we're old, you know.
Yeah.
that. You're going to have some early stuff. Yeah, you're going to have some early stuff that doesn't work in quite the same way anymore.
Right.
The first thing I ended up, I didn't talk about this much, but before Frank, I eliminated great idea for a song from my set. The reason for that, these are my two most popular songs, so that's great. But that one, it's like when I'm singing, when I was doing it live, I started getting weird looks, and I'm like, okay, and I realized what's going on here is, despite the fact that I know that this is about, one person, and I don't mean a specific person, but more a person I've built out of memories of a few people. It comes off as it can come off as misogynistic to somebody who doesn't know that's not what I'm about. And beyond that, I'm a 40-something happily married man singing about the high school relationship, basically, and that seems kind of weird too. So it didn't seem right coming from my face anymore. So it's out there, you can listen to it, but coming out of my 45-year-old face doesn't sound right. So I've taken it out of my live set.
Okay.
I will say somebody recently, I'm going to forget his name, but there's a Z in it, did a cover of it, which hasn't been released yet, I don't think. And it's kind of a punkier cover, more, with like real guitars and stuff. And in the interest of being able to play it for his kids, he took out there isn't really profanity, but there's some iffy stuff. And he replaced all of the insults in it with gender neutral insults. And it just totally fixes the problem. I mean, completely. It's interesting. You listen to this and it's like, it makes it more clear you're talking about a specific person, because it takes away this other element of, there's some slut shaming in there.
The bitch and the whore and those things. Yeah.
I think bitch is you're calling somebody a whore, you're calling somebody a slut. It in the current climate, that's bringing up a lot of stuff about, equality as far as sex goes, from an intercourse perspective, not gender sex, but intercourse. There's a lot there. So slut shaming is on the outs for good reason. So it takes out all that, and it works. So I got to think about that. I don't want to. I think about when I bought there was a re-recorded version of Fear the Record that came out a few years ago. Why? I do not know, but re-recorded Fear the Record. It was actually recorded in the Blasting Room. Bill Stevenson of the Descendants and Black Flag was involved in it. And it takes out a lot of stuff that was iffy, like the New York's all right if you like homosexuals. That line is gone. I don't even think that's just goofy as far as I'm concerned. I don't know that that's offensive. And when I even if it is, it's like when I bought this, I was expecting one thing and I got this other thing, and that pissed me off. So I don't want to do that either. It's like if you know what you're getting into and you're buying, a re-release of a Worm Quartet record, and suddenly the words are different, I've changed stuff around, I've softened it or whatever you may think, it can I can picture that pissing people off. So I don't want to go that route. But again, coming out of my face now, I've either got to change lyrics or just take it out. And both things have been recommended to me. There's stuff I could do to change both of these songs. And there's also the possibility of just not performing them and moving on to new things, which is kind of where I'm leaning, because I've still got ideas, and I'm more excited about new stuff. I've been performing these things for, as I said, in some cases 20 years, and I'm fully up for doing different stuff instead. I don't want to lose the things I'm known for, but I don't want to contradict my own beliefs either. So
I get it. Here, have my egg I dropped, dog. I'm glad I have my little. These are my Roombas. I don't have a Roomba. I have 3 dogs. So ShoEboX, we got some sad news this morning that Sean Connery has passed away.
What?
Oh yeah. So you haven't heard that news yet?
I got up, poured my coffee, got my cereal, and went on this interview. So no, I
parked yourself in front of this.
I learned about this from Seamonkey, as the prophets foretold.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. But so what? In honor of Sean Connery, what is your favorite James Bond movie? I
don't like James Bond movies.
You don't like Sean Connery's Bond movies?
I don't like Bond movies.
At all?
Nope. I've only seen a couple, and never all the way through. They've never really done it for me.
Really?
Really.
Wow, I'm surprised at that.
I don't know. It might come. I mean, I might should give them another chance, because when I was a kid, I walked in on my mom watching one, and somebody was killing somebody in some terrible way, and it freaked me out. So that might still be in my brain somewhere. Maybe I should give them another shot. But what I've seen since that is just I don't know. Probably because I don't know why. Maybe I should give them another chance. But no, I haven't really gotten into them.
See, I thought you'd be into the all the fancy gadgets and things like that, and just kind of think they were cool.
I'm a fan of gadgets.
You have lots of gadgets.
I do.
There, behind you.
There. Yeah, wrong way. Yep. Thanks.
What is the oldest still working gadget in your collection? Whether it be a computer or a gaming system or something like that.
Probably
audio system.
From a game perspective, I've got Pong, so probably that. I don't think I have anything earlier than Pong, and I've got
that Atari 2600 or what?
No, I mean the actual standalone Pong system. Really? 2600, the standalone that you just hooked up to the TV and just had 2 pedals and you play Pong.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that. Oh, you had 3 different versions.
I got a few. Yeah, I got there's what Coleco put some out, and there was a Coleco Telstar. There was one that had like a gun, so you could do shooting games on it. There was I've got a Sears Telegames version, which is just a
I was going to say
Atari
Sears
Pong.
did that, didn't they?
Oh, that was just a rebranded Pong, but yeah, and I've got an Atari Super Pong, so I've got a ton of those. I've got a Fairchild Channel F, which was the first cartridge-based system ever. They just did a thing on that in that Netflix special that I forget the name of. It was really good, but I forgot the name of it.
Oh, I think I forgot the name of it too, but I did. Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah, that was really well done. I enjoyed that a lot. So yeah, those probably are the oldest ones. Behind me here, that is Atari 800. That is the same Atari 800 I learned how to program on as a kid. My parents got that in probably 83. So something happened before 1984 that was important. And yeah, they told me I could play games on it. When we first got it, my dad got a bunch of games via various means. Piracy was a thing even then. We had a ton of games for it. We had a few that were cartridge based and a few that were disc based and all that. And I was restricted. I could play games for I think an hour a day, but if I was programming on it, I could do that as long as I wanted to. So I thought I was being slick. I started trying to write games, and so basically my parents tricked me into becoming a programmer, and it worked. I've been doing this shit for 23 years now. I've been a programmer.
So do you think that was their? You have a cat growing out of your head. That's awesome.
That's Phil Crow.
So do you really think that was a dirty, underhanded trick by your parents?
I don't think so. I mean, my dad started by, told me a few of the basics of basic, hey, and then kind of left me alone with the book and let me go at it. I asked him a few questions here and there, but for the most part, I had a book and a computer and I did stuff. And I, I don't know if they knew that I was going to go that route. They just decided, yeah, you can do this if you want to. And yeah, if they hadn't done that, I don't know that I would be a programmer now. So I don't think it was a dirty, underhanded thing. I don't think they even knew that was what was going to happen, but that is most definitely what happened. I tried the same thing with my son. He messed around with Scratch for a few, which is a cool programming language for kids. It's odd.
Rats?
No, it's called Scratch.
Scratch.
Yeah.
I was like, Scratch is a terrible name. I wouldn't want to do Scratch either.
He got into it. He was having fun with it for a while, but he took more to the physical hardware side of things, which is interesting because my dad was an electrical engineer. So apparently that just, we skip a generation. My dad was an electrical engineer and did programming in his spare time. So I guess I kind of caught on to what he was doing in his spare time and started doing that. And then I'm a software engineer and I do stuff with, physical stuff, soldering things and modding systems and all that in my spare time. So because that looked fun, I guess Steve, kind of caught on to that. So I guess we're going to flip back and forth every generation, I think. That's what's going to happen.
All right. Yeah. Well, that does lead me into my next question, and I've just got a couple more for you. So parenting.
I'm long-winded, aren't I?
Huh? Yeah, well, same here. You would think I would be the one being interviewed when I answer my own questions. But yeah, so parenting, what the fuck?
I know, right? Okay, let's move on.
All right, well, there you
go. Yeah. Steve just turned 16.
Okay. Yeah.
His birth was announced on the Dr. Demento show, which was kind of awesome. I love it.
Awesome.
Yeah. I had, I'm going to procreate, of course, which includes the voice of my wife as my wife. And the voice of my mother-in-law as the Planned Parenthood lady, which was great.
Oh, yeah.
And I announced that I was going to procreate, and the same week that CD came out, I discovered that Kim was in fact pregnant. So that was not intentional, but we didn't know that was going to happen. But it's been awesome. So yeah, his birth was announced on the Dr. Mint show. It seems like that was not that long ago, but it was 16 years ago. Clearly, because my son is 16. He's looking for a job. He's going to be taking his driver's, his written test so he can get a learner's permit. All that is happening. Yeah. He does some backing vocals on the Pac-Man EP. I mean,
does he?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Does Steve have any kind of musical chops?
He took drum lessons for several years and then stopped. He's been thinking about getting back into it, but did
he stop after hearing Frank's not in the band anymore?
Strangely no. I don't think there's anything to do with it.
My dad really hates drummers. Drop it.
He did that. He moved on to vocal lessons for a while, and that was cool. He was doing, I'd be sitting outside of his room and I could hear him, doing like Anthrax and Halloween stuff. He's always been into metal. And he quit with those two, and of late his voice has changed because I was really hoping that when I got that I could get him to do some of the high notes that I can't hit anymore, and just kind of sneak it in there. But unfortunately, his voice has changed. He can't hit the high notes anymore. So he's on there, but not quite in the capacity that I was originally thinking he might be. But there's a couple of songs that he's on that and my upcoming new album where you can only sort of tell it's not me, which is just weird.
So you're trying to use Steve's voice to mask yours or to mimic yours and sort of.
That was originally the hope. Unfortunately, he can't hit the high notes.
Okay.
I've got it's different enough that it provides, there's a couple places where I needed something that didn't sound as much like me, because usually I just, again, too DIY because I'm antisocial. I don't have, I do everything a lot of the time, and if I needed another voice. I needed to be something different. It's like, hey, I got this kid, so have him come in and have him do something, and that worked. So awesome. A couple things here and there, but he's definitely on there. So
that's cool. Because I was the last thing I did want to cover was your next album that you're working on. Tell us about it. Do you have a working title for the album? Do you have how many songs do you have completed? Like, what's it looking like? And kind of talk about, now that we've talked about looking back at your, kind of your old stuff and moving forward with new stuff, what's the new stuff subject matter wise, and
Sure.
what's different from your old stuff in that respect?
What I could say is that pretty much all my progression of my albums, it always seems like there's one song on my previous album that seems to be the seed for everything on the next album. I like for Sumophobia, I think it was Strap On Brain was the one that kind of inspired a lot of what was on what was on. I say Sumophobia. That wasn't Sumophobia. That was on. Oh my god. That was on Faster Than Speeding Bullets. Strap On Brain on Faster Than Speeding Bullets kind of inspired a lot of what was on Mental Notes. It's been kind of like that forever. One song is the seed for the next album, and that was the case for Mental Notes. I think it was. Oh, I'm going to forget everything. God damn it! Why do you? What was with this?
Just forget everything. Just forget everything.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I had a point. I totally had a point. I promise you. But
it was about a song on the previous album being the seed for the next album.
Right. So I want to be taken seriously as an artist from Mental Notes. Pretty much was the spark for a lot of Songs of the Maniacs, and from Songs of the Maniacs, I Don't Matter was the seed, which of course is a more melancholy sort of thing. So
yes.
I'm basically for the new one. I don't really. Working title-wise, what I've been doing is I call it Project Something. So the thing for Songs of the Maniacs was I was calling that, before having a title, I was calling it Project Octopus. So the next one I'm code-named Project Platypus, because I've decided to increase the letter by 1 every time I do this, and I also decided to start with O. So Octopus, Platypus. There we go.
Okay.
Those are the decisions I made. So Project Platypus is not the title.
Okay.
It's very. I have a title in mind. I have a cover in mind, but yeah, it's.
We're keeping that under wraps then.
Oh yeah, we are.
Okay. All right.
I previewed a couple things from it in my FumFest online concert, mostly short songs, because I've got a lot of short songs this time out. But largely, this is a subject matter wise. A lot of it is about being 45 and still doing this Worm Quartet shit. I'm trying not to disappear up my own ass here, but I'm in imminent danger of doing so. I'm trying to, there's things like a tired dog, of course, that break that up. But there's definitely a lot of introspection afoot, and I'm trying to do that and still make it amusing. Because I Don't Matter went over significantly better than I expected it to. I wasn't sure if that what I wrote that it was going to come off as too whiny or what, but that especially with new audiences who haven't seen it before, it tends to it's a favorite amongst the hipsters, I would say.
Okay. So are we to expect a more introspective Worm Quartet album then?
Yeah, with a lot of stupidity mixed in. It's and
I call that introspective. From
sure. That's lovely. Thank you.
I was referring to myself. Not
I know. No, I just thought it was great.
Oh, okay. Just wanted to clarify.
No, I can relate. So yeah, no, there's a lot more crap about my own shit, which I'm hoping is still relatable on some level. So yeah, there's a decent amount of that. There's a bunch of guest people on it. Musically, it's all over the place.
Not a guest.
You're not. No. I should fix that.
Listen asked.
No. You know who haven't? You know who's never guested on a Worm Quartet song is Devo Spice, which is weird because I've been on like half of his discography.
Yeah, that is weird, isn't it?
Never been on a Worm Quartet song.
And yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, Devo.
That is weird. And you know what? Like doing the Boobles, I was thinking, man, there's got to be a place for Devo Spice in here somewhere, but I just can't fit a rap in there. I just can't find it.
I got something I'm currently working on that I got to decide who needs to. It needs another person. I'm not sure who it needs to be yet. I'll gotta figure that out. Anyway, that was an aside. I got a couple more things that I'm trying to finish up for it, and the couple more things I'm trying to finish up for it keep changing. Um, I'll be honest. 2020 is probably isn't the best time to put out an introspective thing about oh, look at me, I'm getting old and I'm a comedy artist. There's so much other shit going on right now. Singing about Pac-Man made more sense anyway, but because I was hoping to get that out this year, and that's just not going to happen. So, but it's so close to completion, it's just stupid. But it feel a lot of the songs feel like they fit together and it's working, but there's a few pieces missing, so I'm trying to fill in said pieces. And this is me taking myself entirely too seriously talking about this shit, Jesus. But ultimately, yeah, there's songs about about dogs and math and various stupid subjects and vomit.
Dogs is not a stupid subject.
There's a cat emerging from my head again.
Now cats, that's a different story. Look at this guy.
I haven't had a dog in years, but I have far more songs about dogs than cats. I've got Did a Real Dog. I got Entire Dog. That's two songs.
Which is the only video I've ever made for Worm Quartet.
Yeah, I saw that. It's weird. I didn't know you'd done that, and then I saw it because I hadn't been at that. I was supposed to be at that Fump Fest, and I was not, so I didn't see your entry.
Yeah, and mine got disqualified because I'm a Fump artist within quotes. So yeah, I couldn't win that, but they did at least play it. So, and it was starring my sweet pups that I have around me.
Yes.
They were drinking beer from my mouth and everything. It was a great video shoot. We had so much fun. You could see how overgrown my backyard pretty much stays. So It was good sharing that with everyone out there. So on the subject of videos, are you going to be doing any music videos for the upcoming album?
I don't know. It's all. I mean, it is all covers. Of Pac-Man songs, other than even the remade Pac-Man is 40th, so should you. That's basically a cover.
No. The next Worm Quartet album.
Oh,
not for Pac-Man, because we're getting that was part of the perks is we're getting a Pac-Man Eat Your Name video,
yep.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. So that one. Are you doing more videos for the Pac-Man thing then?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not planning on it. I don't even know how the royalties would work for that.
Oh, okay, yeah, true. So on your Worm Quartet stuff, then are you going to be trying to do any actual music videos, shooting?
Yeah, I don't have any particular ideas for you. I mean, Entire Dog's going to be on it, and there's already 2 videos for that, thanks to you. So there's already one for that. I don't. Beyond that, I'm not sure. I got to think about that. I'm just trying to get the thing done first, and I'll contemplate the extra crap.
I mean, are you a music video guy? I don't recall any real, other than something live. I don't recall like a put together Worm Quartet music video. Am I missing something?
I haven't done a lot of them. The Entire Dog was one, and that was primarily Ian's idea, and then I threw in some other crap for it. That was fun. And I did one for The Internet is a Big Warm Hug for the World. I think that's far better with the video than without. I put that together. Usually I don't. I mean, I've done videos for like Kickstarters, and those were reasonably well received. Especially the last one for Songs of the Maniacs. Kim helped a lot with that, and there was more production value in it. It was harder to keep up because we put too much production value in it, but that was fun. So maybe I'd say maybe. I haven't done a lot of that. I'm more into just musical side of things, but
yeah,
it's yeah, maybe I should get some help and do that.
Well, music videos I found are very, very difficult.
Yes.
So, and being the DIY people that we are, I assume that you, are going to put anything together. So, it took me 3 years, I think, to get the Moo Moo Cow video out, and then it's been at least 3 years since we did the Meals on Wheels video shooting at Fump Fest with the green screen and all that stuff. And I was going to, I actually had people lined up to go out and shoot so I could finish that video this spring, and of course, we all know what happened globally. So I'm gonna shut that down. So music videos are, woo, buddy. I just do you do any video editing, anything like that yourself, or? That's what I thought.
I've been talking too much, man. I still got half a bowl of cereal here.
Yeah, why haven't you been eating? I'm done. Look, here's my plate.
You're in the clean plate club.
Now look at that. That was 3 eggs and countless pieces of bacon. Of course, the dogs helped with the bacon.
So I think we figured out which one of us talks more. That's great. Yeah.
Or which one of us doesn't care about stuffing their face while they're talking.
There's that.
Yeah.
Maybe you're better at talking around food.
Well, ShoEboX, I appreciate you taking the time with me this morning to talk about all your stuff. And I just wanted to know, in parting, do you have any predictions for 2021 that you would like to share with our audience?
Oh my God. All I have is prediction wise. I don't know.
What's 2021 going to be?
Anything I would have predicted for 2020, you would have been completely wrong. So, God.
That's why this doesn't have to be correct.
Yeah, I feel like I should have an amusing response here, but I don't. I'm planning to start the year by running around in circles and screaming, because whatever's going on, I think that'll probably be an appropriate reaction. And if it's not, then that's good news. So yeah, run around. I'm going to run around in circles and scream, and then I'll either be pleasantly surprised that I'm wrong, or I'll be doing the right thing to begin with. And that should work.
Okay, and Pac-Man does that naked, and so should you. So we'd like to thank ShoEboX for me and my dogs.
Okay, I thought you meant you and me. I don't thank me. I'm not
thanking ShoEboX.
that much of an asshole yet.
Look, right. Did you enjoy ShoEboX? Mm-hmm. You like ShoEboX? Oh yeah, he's so nice.
Not even looking at me.
So no reaction. No wonder.
No, I used to go nuts when the opening to the Andy Griffith Show played. It was hysterical. Just walk around the room trying to figure out where the whistling was coming from. Okay.
This is why you're a cat guy.
It's true.
So thanks for joining me this morning. I really appreciate it, and we wish you loads of success with the Pac-Man EP and your upcoming album titled Operation Platypus. So
Project Platypus.
I'm sorry. Project Platypus.
Absolutely not titled Project Platypus. Yes.
Yes.
It's the one thing it cannot possibly be titled.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. And we look forward to your new music very soon. And all these music videos that are obviously going to come from it. So.
Yes. Same to you. Thank you.
So thanks, man. Be safe.
Right. You too.
Wear your mask.
Right now?
We should have been doing that. Oh, my God.
I really should have.
We're infected. Oh, jeez. We screwed up. We had one opportunity. We really screwed up.
Yeah.